what can really mess you up when it comes to working in this program is if you have, and also too for any other database program, are duplicate data records. In other words, where you've got two or more exactly the same rows. In other words, for some reason, maybe when you had the data exported from your database or accounting system, for some reason it created duplicates. Now, you might not know you even have duplicates because you've got so much data. It just goes row after row. You got, you know, thousands, tens of thousands of rows of data. It's a little bit hard to know if you've got that. Now, what a lot of people will do is they might go back in and maybe sort the data, and we'll talk about that later on, but they can sort the data, and that way any duplicates would all be kind of grouped together. But then, you know, once you did that, then you'd have to go in there yourself and manually delete all but one of each of those groups. And that would be a little bit of a process, especially if you've got hundreds of groups, thousands of groups, whatever. So a much easier way would be to use the Remove Duplicates tool. We used this a little bit earlier on one of the other videos, but I wanted to just kind of show you this with data where we're not talking about blank rows and things like that, but if you did have blank rows, still take care of those as well. But the idea here is we're working with data, and you know, if you look through this, it doesn't look like we've got any duplicates. It looks like all, you know, unique data here, but we actually do have duplicates. Now, keep in mind that we have right now about 98 records. Okay, we got 99 rows, but one of those rows are the fields, so we got about 98 records. Okay. So we're going to run through the process of eliminating the duplicates. Now, how do you do that? Well, first of all, you don't need to do this, but you could select all the data. You could do that. But because we know we don't have any blank rows or blank columns in here, we can just put our pointer anywhere in here and run the feature. It will automatically select everything. But if you're paranoid and you think, well, I don't know, you know, then go ahead. I mean, who cares? Click onto here, all right, get it selected. Go back over to your data tab, all right, and then over here we have the Remove Duplicates. So we click onto that. Now, what it does is this. It says here are all of your fields, all the columns that you have, you know, each of your columns all listed here. Because there's a check mark on each one of those, that means that it will look in all those fields, each of those columns, and if there's the same information on two or more rows in all those columns, so the information is the same, but on two or more rows, then there's a duplication existing there, and therefore, if there's just two of them, it'll get rid of one of them. It'll get rid of the latter one. So there's really not much for you to do here. There you are. You say, fine, have at it. So now all you really have to do is just hit OK. So you come in here and you go, yep, OK, hit OK. There it goes. And now it got rid of 17 duplicates and left us with 81 unique values. So let's go ahead and hit OK. And we'll go scroll down here and you can see that, in fact, we have, you know, 82 rows, but it's really 81. So 81 records. And then the top row there is the 82nd. So there you go, fixed it just like that, all done. Every one of these is unique. There's no duplicates, but that is so easy. I might want to add too, I don't think I said this in the beginning, when you have duplicates, you end up getting values, you know, in your reports and things like that that you might do, where you've got more than what is supposed to be, you know, and you would spend so much time doing, you know, applying these different tools to your data, only to go into a meeting, present your data, and then you've got somebody sitting there saying, wait a minute, we didn't do 1.5 million. We did barely 1 million. You know, where did you come up with 1.5 million? What your data's flawed. And in essence, it really all it was that you had duplicate values in there. So to avoid that type of embarrassment, that type of, I guess, waste of time really, doing a very simple procedure like removing duplicates is a very smart thing to do. Okay, well, hopefully you can use this tool. Take care.